Why you still feel broke on a good salary. You finally got the salary you used to dream about, and yet 3 days after payday, the money already feels spoken for. Rent, car payment, subscriptions, food delivery, insurance, a trip you booked because you deserved it. Then one unexpected bill arrives, and suddenly a good income does not feel like wealth. It feels like a more expensive version of survival. If that sounds familiar, you are not necessarily bad with money. You may be trapped inside a financial system that quietly expands every time your income does. In this video, we will break down why a good salary can still feel painfully small and the 5-part system that can turn income into actual freedom. First, understand the difference between income and margin. Income is what enters your account. Margin is what remains after your lifestyle is paid for. Wealth is built from margin, not from salary. Imagine two people. Alex earns $60,000 a year and keeps $800 each month. Jordan earns $120,000, but after the apartment, car, restaurants, travel, and debt payments keeps only $200. Jordan earns twice as much, but Alex has 4 times the monthly financial margin. This is why a pay raise can improve your lifestyle without improving your life. The official numbers show how powerful fixed costs have become. According to the US Bureau of Labor Statistics, the average household spent about $78,500 in 2024. Housing and transportation alone consume just over half of total spending. Add food, healthcare, and insurance, and most of the budget is committed before anyone opens a shopping app. That creates the first trap: lifestyle inflation. Lifestyle inflation rarely feels reckless. It arrives dressed as progress. The starter apartment becomes a luxury building. The reliable car becomes a premium monthly payment. Cooking becomes delivery. One streaming service becomes 7. Economy becomes business class. Occasionally, of course, each decision seems affordable on its own. Together, they create a lifestyle that requires your next paycheck to survive. The dangerous part is not buying something nice. The dangerous part is converting temporary income growth into permanent monthly obligations. A raise feels exciting once. A new recurring payment follows you every month. The second trap is invisible spending. Most people remember large purchases. They do not feel the hundreds of tiny transactions that pass through their accounts without creating a meaningful memory. $20 here, $40 there, a convenience fee, a forgotten subscription, a late night order, a buy now, pay later installment from something you barely remember purchasing. The Federal Reserve reported that 16% of US adults use buy now, pay later services in 2025. Among users, 11% had a payment trigger an overdraft or insufficient funds fee. The problem is not one coffee or one subscription. It is financial invisibility. When spending becomes frictionless, your brain experiences the reward immediately and the cost later. The third trap is comparison. Your salary does not exist in isolation. It exists next to the apartment tour on social media, your colleague's new car, and a friend's vacation photos. But you can see their lifestyle. You cannot see their balance sheet. You do not know whether the car is financed for 7 years, whether the vacation is sitting on a credit card, or whether their parents paid the down payment. Comparison encourages you to purchase the appearance of wealth before owning the foundation of wealth. Real financial progress is often visually boring. Cash reserves, automatic investments, low debt, and the ability to say no without panic. The fourth trap is having no shock absorber. The Federal Reserve's latest household survey found that only 63% of adults could cover a $400 emergency expense using cash or its equivalent. 59% experienced at least one major unexpected expense during the previous year. Unexpected expenses are not rare exceptions. Cars break, appliances fail, medical bills arrive, jobs change. A budget without an emergency fund is not a plan. It is a plan that assumes life will behave perfectly. Without a buffer, every surprise becomes debt. Then debt payments reduce next month's margin, leaving you even more vulnerable to the next surprise. That is the cycle. High income, high commitments, low margin, unexpected expense, new debt, and back to zero. So how do you escape it? Step 1. Find your freedom number. For the next 30 days, ignore complicated budgeting categories. Calculate only three numbers: monthly take home pay, essential commitments, and free cash flow. Free cash flow is take home pay minus everything you spent. Not what you plan to spend, what actually left the account. If you earn 6,000 after tax and spend 5,700, your financial life is not powered by a $6,000 income. It is powered by $300 of margin. That number is the truth, and truth gives you control. Step 2. Build a lifestyle ceiling. Choose a percentage of every raise that your lifestyle is allowed to absorb. For example, invest 50%, save 30% toward a major goal, and use 20% to improve your life today. This prevents deprivation, but it also stops your expenses from expanding at the same speed as your income. The precise percentages can change. The rule matters more. Every raise must purchase some freedom, not only more consumption. Step 3. Automate before you adapt. On payday, move money automatically to an emergency fund and diversified long-term investments before it reaches your spending account. Do not wait to see what remains at the end of the month. Your lifestyle is remarkably good at consuming whatever it can see. Start with an amount you can sustain. Consistency beats an ambitious transfer that you cancel after 2 months. Step 4. Attack recurring costs before tiny pleasures. Cutting a $5 coffee, one saves $5. Reducing a recurring payment by $200 saves $2,400 every year, and it keeps saving without requiring daily willpower. Review housing, transportation, insurance, debt interest, subscriptions, and phone plans. Ask one question. Does this expense create enough value to justify the hours of freedom it costs? Do not make yourself miserable to preserve a car payment that impresses people for 10 seconds. Step 5. Create visible wealth milestones. Consumption is visible. Saving is invisible. That makes progress emotionally difficult, so make it visible. Track your first $1,000 of emergency savings, then 1 month of expenses, then 3 months. Track the day your investments cover 1 month of rent. Track every $10,000 of net worth. Your brain needs evidence that saying no today is creating something real tomorrow. And remember, feeling broke is sometimes a mathematical problem, but it can also become an identity. If every increase in income is immediately matched by a more expensive definition of success, enough will keep moving away from you. The goal is not to look rich. The goal is to become difficult to financially threaten. That means cash when life surprises you, investments growing while you sleep, low fixed costs, options at work, time to think before saying yes. A good salary is powerful, but only when you keep part of it. So before your next payday, calculate your real monthly margin. Then automate one transfer and eliminate one recurring expense that no longer deserves a place in your life. Your income may determine the size of the opportunity. Your system determines whether that opportunity becomes freedom. If you want to build both capital and character, subscribe to Capital and Character. We do not chase quick riches here. We build systems that last. This video is for educational purposes only and is not financial advice.